Is Mr. Gobble on? I thought I saw his log on, but I wasn't sure.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yes, sir, I can hear you. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Start recording.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, folks, it is 7 o'clock. Or I'm sorry, 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock where I am. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and call our regular city commission meeting for City of Aztec, June 9th, 2020 to order. Mayor Pro Tem, you've been kind enough to volunteer to do the invocation, so please go ahead.
Okay. As we gather here today as members of the Aztec City Commission, we pray that we are ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. Amen.
Thank you. Commissioner Padilla is going to lead us to the pledges. Allegiance to the United States of America,
And, to the republic
for which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation, under God,
liberty and justice for all. With the flag, state of New
of the state of New
Mexico,
Mexico,
is
and the
the
Zia symbol of
perfect friendship
friendship
among united cultures. Thank you very much, folks. Carla, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Stover,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Fry,
Here.
Commissioner Padilla,
Here.
Commissioner Randall,
Here.
Commissioner Lewis,
Here.
all present.
Okay, thank you. We have a proclamation for LGBTQ Pride Month, June 2020. It was a little uncertain if I was going to be able to make it or not, so Commissioner Lewis has been kind enough to volunteer to read the proclamation this year. Commissioner Lewis, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay. This is declaring the month of June 2020 LGBT month in Aztec, New Mexico. Whereas many of the residents, students, city employees, and business owners within the city of Aztec who contribute to the enrichment of our city are a part of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning community. And whereas LGBT make up a disproportionate number of the American youth who are homeless or who commit suicide. And whereas various advancements have been made with respect to equitable treatment of lesbians, gay men, bisexual, transgender, and questioning persons throughout the nation, out there continues to be some opposition against people from around the world, making it important for cities like Aztec to stand up and show support for our residents who are affected. And whereas June has become a symbolic month in which lesbians, gay men, bisexual people, transgender, and supporters come together in various celebrations of Pride, and whereas the city of Aztec is part of San Juan County, where the Civility First program was created to promote positive relations and mutual goodwill while extending a welcome hand to all who live in or visit the Four Corners region. Now, therefore, we, the Aztec City Commission, do hereby proclaim the month of June as LGBT Pride Month in the city of Aztec and invite everyone to reflect on ways we all can live and work together with a commitment to mutual respect and understanding. Signed by our Mayor, Victor Snover.
I have a comment, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I have a comment.
Okay, what's your comment, sir?
I wanted to go on record that due to my religious convictions and talking to my pastor and several other things today, I believe in all life matters, but I can't support the proclamation, and it says the Aztec City Commission, and I'm gonna go on record saying I don't support it.
Okay, Carla, I'm not sure what you have to do, but please let the record show that Commissioner Padilla does not support LGBTQ Pride Proclamation for the City of Aztec in the year of 2020.
It will reflect in the minutes.
Thank you so much. Next up is approval of agenda. If there are any items on this evening's agenda that do not meet the standards of any commissioners, now is the time to remove those items. Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda as given.
Mayor, I move to approve this evening's agenda as given.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Next is consent agenda. Items placed on the consent agenda will be voted upon with one motion. If any item proposed does not meet the approval of all commissioners, the commissioner may request that the item be heard under items from consent agenda. Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda as given.
Mayor, I move to approve this evening's consent agenda as given.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Carla, do we have any citizens input?
None.
Okay, thank you. There are no business items or quasi-judicial hearings. We are at the Commissioner, City Manager, and Department reports. Mr. Mueller.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commission. Just one quick note. I'd like to move to where we open up the commission meeting for the next meeting all the current guidelines in place with, room capacities. And that would fall in line with the phase 1 reopening process that we're in from the 1st of June to June 30th. But that would allow some people into the commission room. Commission could be back in attendance in the chambers if they so choose. But just as a way to start getting back into the normal routine of things as best we can. But once again, we'd be following all the guidelines put out by the CDC and Department of Health. But looking to do that the next meeting, and we will begin to make all the necessary arrangements within the chamber over the next couple of weeks. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Just kind of regarding that, so long as, I'm not opposed to it. I just want to make sure that to include where our seating area is, that we can continue to maintain social distance. And I only mention that because I read a news article today saying that New Mexico is amongst approximately 14 states whose cases are starting to spike again. And I don't know if that's, what the context is, where specifically in the state, but just, for the record, so we can be looking at that and making sure that we're doing okay with that.
Yes, sir. We will.
Okay. Mr. Gobble.
I have nothing, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Randall.
Thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to kind of give a shout out and thanks to Jeff and everyone that made the we approved tonight on the meeting and the name of it now, but for the parks, the riverbank stabilization, like the note that says improvement to fish habitat, but I think all the way around it's going to be a good thing. Anytime we can get funding for stuff, and it'll just improve, that park down. I read through the whole thing, and I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a few people that helped putting it all together, but it was very well worded, and I really hopefully gonna happen. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Let's see, Commissioner Padilla.
I only have one thing. I want to thank the electrical department for them jumping on their emergency in Cocopelli. Fortunately, I was out of town, and they jumped right in there and got the electricity back on. It's a great thing that we have with the electrical department to do the emergencies like we have. And again, my kudos go out to Ken and his whole staff. They jumped right in there and took care of that emergency. And I, for one, living in Cocopelli, appreciate it.
Is that all, sir?
That's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Lewis.
Good afternoon. Yeah, I attended the San Juan Water Commission meeting last Wednesday, and it was interesting. The drought report was given. What happened this year is we had a late start to the snow. It snowed a lot, but it was late, and it all melted very quickly, unfortunately. So if you look at the mountains lately, you'll know there isn't a lot of snow left up there. What they are hoping for, and what we have a 50-50 chance of, is having a good monsoon season this year. They admitted that they are very lousy at predicting monsoon seasons, and I don't know if anybody can predict those things, but that's all hope that we have a good chance of having at least a decent one, and that would really save our bacon, so to speak, and help us to prevent having to have any more restrictions on water this year. So that was a positive part of that. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, I attended 2 meetings of the North New Mexico Seniors Organization, and that organization is in the process of being dissolved, and the activities will be assumed by the city of Farmington. They are waiting for the response on the RFP to know what the funding is going to be, and whether it has support of some of the positions that are held at the different centers. So the dissolution will take place July 1st when the city of Farmington takes over. As you know, I've been working with the chamber on the piano project, and also been discussing the welcoming of new businesses on Main Street. The coffee shop is due to open. It's called Sweet Bean Coffee Shop. Buckin Western Salon and Boutique next door to Soaps on Main has opened. The Vintage Mirror Salon has moved to its new location next to Feet of Clay. Feet of Clay has reopened, and it's their 20th year. And I just think that's great that we've been able to maintain an art co-op for this period of time. I just encourage everybody to get downtown. We have 2 pianos now on display inside Soaps on Main. I don't know how many people shop for gifts, but we have some great gift shops. You do not need to go on Amazon or over to Farmington or to Walmart. We've got great opportunities right on Main Street. There's lots of great volunteers that work for the chamber and are doing everything they can to rebuild that organization. And I would like to encourage every commissioner to become a member of the chamber. I think it's important for us to show our support. The individual membership is very cheap, and I put an application in your mailbox, and I'll be happy to accept your check and the application and get it back to Sandy to show support. We're of course delaying pianos. We still got 2 more being painted, and we hope later in the summer we'll be able to have an event that we can display those. But the 2 that are finished are just beautiful and fun. So anyway, I think that's all I have. I encourage everybody to be safe, continue social distancing, and to wear your mask. It is challenging times with the economy. I want to thank the Aztec City employees for all that they do, and I know they're under a lot of stress with all the changes that are having to be made with the economy and the restrictions on our own funds. And I want to thank Jeff and his crew for recently moving a piano for me, and I'll be calling them again. So that's it.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I attended the Echo. I didn't attend. We had a Zoom Echo board meeting last week. Nothing really to report, honestly. Just some updates on, some of the initiatives with food boxes and some of the allowed relaxation of some of the ID and address restrictions for folks to make sure that during times, especially that we're facing right now with the coronavirus pandemic, that there are people, that are struggling to feed themselves and their family. And it was a much needed and appreciated relaxation of some of the restrictions to get more food into more people's hands. And, I think ultimately it doesn't matter where you're from, whether you have an ID or not, or where you live, people still need to eat. And I want to commend the folks at Echo for taking the lead on that and making sure folks are at least at a minimum being fed. And I do know they've done a little bit of help with utility bills and things like that. So my thanks to them and all the folks that volunteer and work for not only Echo, but all of the other nonprofits and organizations that are helping to fill some of the gaps that the government is not able to fill at this moment. I want to thank the city workers especially as well. Just specifically for the power outage, of course, because that's the most recent one, but just for all of the hard work they've put in recently, little bit reduced staff, as we all know, as we head into an uncertain budget time. And again, thank you to all the folks that are out there keeping our lights on, keeping our parks clean, keeping our city services going. And I know it's not easy. I don't envy some of the positions some of the folks are in, especially some of the department heads having to juggle some of these things. But I certainly appreciate it. And this moment, we couldn't have had a better group of people to lead us through this, from the city manager on down to the newest employee with the city, kind of guiding us through the choppy seas we've been going through right now. So sounds like a broken record, but I don't think we could thank them often enough. And I guess that's all I have. I think it's important to be mindful during these times. We have a lot going on in our country. We have a pandemic. We have protests around the world, really, around racial equality and equitable society and the systems that have put us in these positions to where we are right now, for better or for worse, depends on your point of view. And, I think, to me, Pride Month takes on a special, maybe an even more special meaning this year than in years past, because it's symbolic of not only LGBTQ folks, but marginalized societies and folks and people of color that have been pushed to the sidelines for generations. And I hope and pray that we're turning a corner as a country. And that's all I have. I'll turn it over to any department heads that would like to give a report, if there's any out there. Hearing none, I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening, and I'll see you soon.
Attorney.
This conference is no longer being recorded.
I didn't say anything. I said enough.
You have a minute.